be critical with ourselves, especially the way we concede the goal against Branford. You know what it happens. You have a free kick. The goal is going to put it there. From there, try to get a throw in. From there, try to get a corner. And then once you clear the ball, it's a second ball game. And in that second ball game, we didn't defend the space close to the taker well enough. And then it's a lottery because they do that really well. And it's our fault.
Yes, but you pre-planned when you were going to make your substitutions today because of load management, or were you reacting to the flow of the game?
No, we had an idea because we know certain players that we picked in the starting lineup that they could not be able to finish the game. So we had two eyes open with that one. We didn't expect the issue with Thomas, that we have to take him out, and then for sure we didn't expect what happened with Jorginho, that we ended up playing with 10 men.
Yes, and Daily Mail.
I'm okay. Branford seems to be playing quite an advanced position today. He scored 2 goals in the league this season. How have them 2 free kicks against Branford maybe whet's the appetite for more from an attacking perspective?
Yes, for sure. Every time you score a goal, after you have the feeling the next one you can score again. I think he had an unbelievable action as well in the goal we scored today, carrying the ball in open space till the right moment to release Thomas, and one against situation with the keeper, and I think had a really strong performance again.
You said about playing with 10 men. What did you mean by that, playing with 10 men across the game?
That we had to play with 10 men when Jorginho went out.
James from CBS. James CBS, and then we'll go to...
Sorry.
Yeah.
Just picking up on Declan there and his performance, the running power he showed, was he still carrying that foot injury? Because the sheer strength that he showed across that game.
No, he was fine. Yesterday he trained with normality. He wasn't feeling any pain. That's why we put him from the start.
Dave?
Mikhail, just 2 things. Did you feel that what lies immediately ahead in Madrid was in the atmosphere today, inside and out, in your own players' minds?
I don't know, but the atmosphere was different to Tuesday, that's for sure. I don't know if he's supposed to play in the back of the crowd. For us, as professionals, we know the importance of that. Today, what we wanted to do was increase the probability of us really challenging for what we are looking for in the Premier League. And with that result, obviously, it's more unlikely to happen.
And just in terms of your own players, was it in their minds tonight?
No. I think the players know that when you come to the Premier League and the opposition that we play today, how tough it's going to be and what it requires, and it requires your best every time to win.
And just quickly, the tackle on Martinelli in the first half, obviously we saw your reactions.
Yeah.
Okay. Just a little bit about that, please.
I think my reaction tells everything.
Mikhail, it's the season of the Champions League now. Is it as simple as that? I know mathematically you can win the Premier League, but feels unlikely.
Yeah, we still 6 games to play in the Premier League, which are going to be really important, but for sure now it's all about Wednesday.
James, can you just check what was Partey's injury?
Sorry?
Was Thomas Partey's injury?
Yeah, he felt something, so we didn't want to take any risks.
What was it?
Something.
Is the initial sort of diagnosis to us, do you think you'll be okay?
We don't know. I haven't spoken to the doctors yet, so they will check in now and see how he is.
So I was with Ben, obviously, this year training, you know, everything was okay.
Again, we don't know. So we could not be in condition to be in the squad today and be selected. So we have a few days, but we have to wait and see.
Jorginho is ribs or something?
It looks like it, so I don't exactly know, but he had problems breathing, so he said he could not carry on.
Okay, last couple. Art, Athletic.
Hi, Mikhail. Sorry for another on Declan, but I was just going to ask, with that running power that James mentioned, obviously yesterday you said he has so many different tools to kind of bring Arsenal up to the box. Is that one where, I guess, because you're not getting as many open situations as you did for that goal, you're not seeing as often, is that the reason why, or is there another reason why you might want to see it a bit more?
Yeah, depending on the opposition behavior. I think the first time we have a few options. When we break their press, when they're just more man-orientated and they want to take more risks to open those spaces, and certainly after a set piece is a clear situation because there's a lot of space to run.
And with that, would there be, I guess, maybe like players who you might reference maybe as examples with him, or is it just focusing about him as an individual?
Well, we can always learn about best midfielders, the timing of their arrivals and how they have scored the goals, but I think he can focus on himself.
And finally, Phil, PA.
Mikhail, you've obviously been so close to winning the league the last couple of years. The gap by the end of tomorrow could be 13 points for 60. How frustrating is that for you do you think it's going to be difficult to bring the players up for themselves? I'm not worried.
Yeah, it is difficult because obviously there are a lot of risks.
How much and how long will they dwell on that, considering what's on the horizon, Martin?
They have no time to do that. They're already dealt with that. You know, okay, the pathway to success is long and windy from an Arsenal point of view because there's going to be 3 years on the bounce looking like they're going to come second. The Champions League represents a really good opportunity for Arsenal. 3-0 up in the tie, half-time, 90 hairy minutes to come, because you know that Arsenal will probably do it the hard way if they're going to do it at all. So it was really important they didn't pick any more injuries up today. Jorginho, we're not sure what's happened there, whether that's a head injury or whatever. But Ben White going down yesterday was bad news. So again, that hampered him. Looks like it's a clean bill of health. And it's onwards to the next game.
Yeah. What will Mikel Arteta take away from today?
I think at the end he would have been frustrated, especially with not being able to keep a clean sheet, because that's the mentality they'll have to take in on Wednesday. And for his standards, and I felt for Raya as well, because he would have wanted that clean sheet because he's leading in terms of Premier League clean sheets. But and I think he would have been frustrated because I felt they should have got the result today, the 3 points. But it is a difficult team, Brentford. But I think it was a missed opportunity.
2 wins in 7. You know, in too many, what is it now, 12 draws, is it, or so?
Yeah, 12 draws.
Just not, good enough. Where we think of the end of the season last year, where Arsenal on this 16-game run won 14 games. You know, they've not been able to get, and of course that's the front of the team, so many players out. Today they tried Trossard up top, and it just didn't work. It didn't have the options, didn't have enough bodies getting in the final third.
Yeah. Was that game really typical and typifies their season then? Well, dropping points from winning positions ultimately?
Well, what shaped the season was, you could say, ill-discipline. You could say it was difficult decisions. Some of them weren't always correct, maybe, from the referees. A few of those were rescinded, some of those sending-offs. You're playing a lot of minutes, over 200 minutes or so, with 10 players. And then you've got the injuries that have kicked in with Ødegaard, with Saka. It's been endless. Havertz out now, Jesus. All of that's played a part, Manish. And it was some weeks ago that we knew it had gone. But Arsenal, actually, if they could have won these recent games, could have made it much more difficult for Liverpool.
Yeah, let's have a look at the opening goal then. Arsenal took the lead, of course, after what was a surging run initially. From Declan Rice, Thomas Partey finished it off, but quick thinking from a former Branford keeper there.
Yeah, brilliant. And then Declan Rice, who we know just keeps progressing, he's really calm here. He just keeps it, he doesn't rush to pass that. And then Visa there can't go and press him. So he just opens the channel up to play the ball to Partey, and it's a wonderful finish from him.
I think this is what I like about Arsenal. This is something I think they've pushed on in the last few weeks, is attacking with pace. I think sometimes throughout the season it's been a little bit slow and allowed teams to get back into shape. But look, with the form that Declan Rice is in, he's one of the best ball carriers in the Premier League, I think. We don't see enough of it because of how opposition defend against them. But when he's given the distance and the length to dribble and drive like he does, and pick out the good decision making at the end, Partey isn't going to miss from there. So, and again, great vision from the goalkeeper to catch, carry and counter.
It's a good point, Karen. Do we need to see more of that from Arsenal? Just be that little bit more direct.
Do you know, this season, if you were to go through the stats, we've got a stat man upstairs, and you look at the number of times that teams have come to Arsenal and just sat edge of the box. It's been unbelievable this year. So rarely you're in a situation like that where you can open it up. It was a corner for Brentford. Of course, they score. We're going to see that in a minute from a corner. But so they were brave to attack in that manner. But, it's key to their game, but they spend most of the time trying to find solutions to break teams down. And here it was now. This is about being calm. That's why I think Declan here, this guy just keeps growing, getting better. It's like he's finding out for himself. It's like a discovery and learning exercises on. Yeah. He's only realising now how good he is. I can take these corners. I can take the free kicks, but also I can carry the ball with composure and then find the perfect pass.
Yeah. And also, I hasten to add patience, releasing that ball at just the right time, and also giving Partey a bit of opportunity to just weigh up his options.
But you do that in training a lot. You do those kind of 3v2s and those attack. We used to do it all the time, and it is just about making the right decision and keeping it nice and calm. But I do think, actually, I know Martin's right, they do play against teams that sit a little bit deeper, but I do think there's been times when they can drive and attack a lot quicker. And I think when you have the players like Martinelli, Saka and Declan Rice who can carry at big distances at pace, I think they need to do that a little bit more next season, because I think that could be the difference from second to first. Don't slow it down all the time. It allows people to block up and do what Martin said. And I really think that has been a problem for us the last couple of seasons.
Is that down to